And our nation's economy could come to a standstill in just a matter of days if the nation's largest rail workers unions fail to negotiate a new deal with the railroad companies. This coming as a previous deal brokered by the Biden administration was rejected by 4 of the 12 unions. And a rail strike would be catastrophic for the economy, impacting the movement of supplies, food, other goods, and people. And joining us now to discuss, Professor Dan Roccato from the University of San Diego. It's good to see you again, Professor. Thanks for being here.
What's up, Natasha? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, but it is concerning, and I think many Americans, they just don't think about train travel much, but it is essential to so many parts of our everyday life. Can you break down for us, what would the impact of a potential strike be for the average American?
Yeah, it really is huge. 40% of all freight in this country move by rail, and that's a pretty big number when you think about it. A lot of bulk goods, soybean, corn, chemicals, all these things move the majority of it by rail. Those ingredients go into making other products that you and I depend on, whether they be grocery products or other things. 75% of our new cars, rail. By the time they get the factory to your dealer lot, they've been on a train somewhere. So it really has a wide-ranging impact. And for that reason, it's pretty important.
Yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, the holiday shopping season kicked off yesterday with Black Friday, and a lot of people opting to shop online rather than at traditional brick and mortar stores. Could a rail strike impact shipping for holiday gifts, for example?
Yeah, that's a good question. Not so much. FedEx, UPS, USPS, they're in decent shape, I think, overall. You may see some around the periphery, especially larger, bulky items. But for the most part, I think we won't see that impacted. One thing we will see, though, Natasha, is a lot of passenger trains share the lines with the freight trains. And those passenger trains likely will stop running. So for some folks, that means bring a larger mug in the morning because your commute is going to get a little bit longer, probably by car.
Yeah, no one wants to hear that. Can I ask about the potential impact on our farmers as well? Because, many of them are entering into this period of time of harvest, and they do rely on rail to be able to move those harvests to different places.
That is huge. Soybean and corn especially move a lot by rail. So that really is where we're going to see an impact. And that kind of is the pond, the pebble in the pond. Once we see that happen, then that really does impact the supply chain for all kinds of different food items right down the line. So that's the one that I worry about the most. Our farmers, not necessarily at the first couple of days, but if this thing happens and goes on for a long period of time, we're all going to feel that one.
All right, Professor Dan Roccato, always good speaking with you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Natasha. Take care.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.